You are now listening to the Lasting Legacy Podcast.
Welcome back, everybody. Here's another episode of the Lasting Legacy Podcast. If you're watching this on YouTube, be sure to like and comment this time before you watch the video, because if you don't do both those things, you're not allowed to watch it. So today we have a very special guest. We have Andres Acuna, who is the owner of Rocky Mountain Dent and Detail and soon to be SoFloAutoPros.
Heck yeah, baby. It's good to be here, guys. Thanks for inviting me.
Yeah, absolutely.
Never thought I'd be cool enough to be on someone's podcast. So
well, here you are.
Here I am.
Welcome to the platform.
Am I cool enough yet?
I'm David. I own David Took It Photography, Videography. I've actually done some work for Andres. That's kind of how I know him. And ever since we started the podcast, he was one of the people that I wanted on here first. He's young. He's an entrepreneur. And I don't think he's ever had a normal job. So hustling is all he knows. You want to go ahead and introduce yourself?
Yeah. So what's up, everybody? I'm Andres Acuna. I'm 25 years old. Born and raised here in Pueblo, Colorado. Graduated from East High School. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Right.
Owner of SoFloAutoPros and Rocky Mountain Dent and Detail.
Awesome. So what led you into the auto detailing and the whole automotive world?
Oh man, so shit. Since we're going all the way back, So after my senior year, I went off to college, played college baseball. Then from there, things didn't really work out. I kind of fucked off and wasn't really doing what I was supposed to do, partying a little bit. Then ended up, actually, it's the first time I ever told anybody this, like this big of an audience, but my ass got cut because I just wasn't doing as good as I should have. I did pretty good, but the coaches knew I didn't want to be there because I actually signed a CSUP first, but I got a 13 on my ACT score, so had to go to junior college. Yeah.
Is that
when
good?
I say that, people are like,
I was like, is that good? I don't know what a 13 is.
Yeah.
Well, I know Dave doesn't have a college degree. I guess we don't know if he's got a high school one either. I just assumed.
I don't know, dude. I don't know
what the school.
I don't need a test to tell me how intelligent I am.
Yeah. Fuck. So anyways, then whatever. So went off to junior college, played college baseball for a year. Things didn't work out. Came back home, kind of was lost in life, All I ever had was like baseball and sports. That's all I was ever known for. So I came back home, had nothing else to do. So ended up getting my first job at Phil Long Ford in Motor City. So as a detailer. So started out detailing there.
So you would commute from Pueblo to Motor City? Okay.
Yeah. So, let me pull up my timeline, dude. I got all of this.
He made a timeline for those listening.
Yeah.
And he's pulling that
for
up.
future guests.
This is what we're expecting. It's been quite a journey, man. So I had to get all my facts straight. I had to go look at my photos, like, what was I doing in 2015, 2017?
Pulled up his MySpace.
Yeah, I pulled up my MySpace.
I'm gonna edit this and just put like a little timeline across the whole video.
Yeah. So
I don't think Brad has the skill to pull off that.
So yeah. Anyways, detailing cars for Phil Long Ford. Then from there, kind of just ran with it. That's kind of how I got into the whole detailing thing. But there's a bunch of whole other side stories. I didn't actually get started in business until a couple years later. So I was bouncing back and forth in college. I was working as a detailer. I was working as a detailer also for a family member of mine. He owned a hail company. That's kind of how the whole paintless dent repair and hail repair things all kind of tie together. So I was actually detailing cars for him under the table after work or my days off.
Allegedly.
Shout out to the IRS for the third time on this podcast.
Under the table, baby. What's up? Cash only. So I started as a detailer. Then things led to me being a PDR tech. So I don't know if you want me to go into that.
Yeah. What is PDR for the people who don't know?
So PDR is paintless dent repair. So it's the art of massaging dents and hail damage and minor collision out. So paintless dent repair. We don't do any body work. We don't fill your car with body filler or repaint your car. We do strictly everything to try to get that factory finish, and fix damage, big stuff, small stuff, hail damage, without ruining your actual factory finish and stuff like that.
I've actually seen you do that, and it is truly an art. Some of the tools, he has a whole cart full of like tools that are like bent rods and weird glue he puts on the outside and pops things. It is the weirdest thing I've ever seen. And what he can do with it and literally massage the metal from the inside of your door out is just absolutely nuts. Headliners come down.
It's a whole
shit
man.
show.
People
honestly
think you just like pop it out. Like I have customers all the time, how much are you gonna charge me just to pop it out? I just want you to pop it out. I'm like, you have no, like, I have over 10 grand of tools here, they just don't pop it out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's
he has
like
this one product called Pops a Dent. It's this plastic thing.
You get it at Walmart.
Yeah, as seen on TV. If he can do it, you can do it, truly. But no, that's awesome. That I forget that is such a big part of your beginnings, and you still do it to this day. People show up with their new cars, and they just got door dinged, and they're just freaking out. And you're like, yeah, I'll get it done. Go to lunch, come back, it'll be done.
Yeah, heck yeah, man. I truly like it. It was actually the hardest thing I've ever done. Out of everything I've done in my life is learning PDR. You just have to have so much patience and learn how metal works and what tap downs to use and what tools to grab, because there's just so many. You're just like, what's the best tool that can work for this dent, and taking cars apart and stuff like that. But
absolutely.
Were you like interested in cars before you started detailing and stuff, or are
you
interested in cars actually?
I am, even though I drive a freaking rate van. But
can you tell the people what you drive?
I got the baddest Ford Transit, like medium-sized roof, so you see me out there, I'm cruising.
Put in that work, baby.
But I'm into cars. I just kind of sacrificed having a cool car and stuff to, buy something that helps me make money, year round. I think we can all tie that, back, down in the podcast later. But
absolutely.
But I do like cars. But before, I really didn't care about anything else besides sports. And as I started detailing and started learning about PDR, and I'm just working with cars all the time, you just kind of gravitate to, liking cars in that whole industry. So,
of course, yeah, absolutely. So you learned PDR. You started detailing under, you said, your cousin, right?
So it was I'm just going to say family member because he's really close to me.
Okay.
We'll call him John, even though that's not his name. But if he happens to watch this podcast, I don't want because of course, we're family. I love the guy, but so I started working with him as a detailer under the table. Then the business, I'll kind of give it a rundown. So the hail business he was running, it was very fly-by type of business. When it hailed, we were there. Mm-hmm. When there was no hail, we were nowhere to be found. You know what I mean? It was just like, someone comes in from out of state when there's a hailstorm and they're setting up tents and blah, blah. That's kind of how we were. You know what I mean? We were on the east side, right next to that meat market on Norwood.
Yeah.
So I was pushing dents and a freaking parking lot on the east side.
Pushing dents and pushing pounds.
Yeah. That detailing, everything. So it was just like, let's just say, to be respectful, things were not being ran right. It wasn't like a legit business. There was no long-term goal. There was no growth at all. It was like, you're going to come push dents for me. It's going to hail. You're going to be busy. Then after it's done hailing, go find a job. Go get a 9 to 5.
Yeah.
Go figure it out pretty much. You either make your money, a good chunk of money during that time, then after it's like figure it out.
You get in and get out.
And I think that's a big reason why I left him to do my own thing and also a bunch of other stuff. So.
Yeah. It's kind of like a big difference between being self-employed and being a business owner.
Yeah.
It sounds like that was maybe more of like a really just like what should have been like a self-employed business in the sense switching to business owner. It was a big transition. A lot of people don't understand that.
Yeah. Because that first year I worked with him, when I got back from college, I was just like, I was working for Phil Long and working for him too. Then the following year I opened up, a company and started my little subcontracting company to, get 1099s and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. It was called, excuse me. It was called, it was called Accidents LLC. because
That's
get
kinda
it,
cool.
accidents,
Yeah.
Accidents happen. Yeah, you get it. So, yeah, I was like, hey, yeah, that's a good name.
I'm a business owner.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I'm like 19 years old, just like, yeah, I'm a business owner.
Yeah.
man. I
So
got my
you were
cards.
legit, right, at that time ish?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I was
okay.
legit.
So when did you start Rocky Mountain?
So I started Rocky Mountain.
Was that kind of like the next step, I guess?
Yeah.
Or,
After accidents. What happened to accidents? Or you just
I
wanted
just
to
changed the
expand?
name, yeah.
Oh,
Just
okay.
changed the name through, the government and stuff like that. So following year, so I was a PDR tech the next year after that, and I was pushing for him full time. Then after, getting my 9-to-5 jobs after that until the next hail season. So during that like fall period, I changed the name to Rocky Mountain Dent Co. because I was starting to, I want to open my own stuff one day. I can't be just working in the summer making good money, then from there having to go and do a 9-to-5 job.
Yeah.
So I was just like, man, I can't be doing this anymore. I need to start looking towards my future and stuff like that. So that's how I started Rocky Mountain Dent Co. Worked for him one more year, then jumped off and did my own thing and got my own shop, and been through all the struggles as a young entrepreneur, and shit, here I am.
Yeah. What were some of those struggles as a young entrepreneur?
Well, when you're young, it's really hard for people to take you serious, because people want to start stuff or become something, and they really don't follow through with it. As young kids, we're just like, oh, I want to do this, want to do that, but they really don't follow through with it or take it serious. So one of the struggles, I'd say, getting my first shop, the shop I have now. Story about that was I've always been eyeing this property, and it was like ideal. It was next to my house, next to my gym. Got a hold of the landlord, and we met. And as soon as we met, he just kind of gave me this like body language, like, this kid's like 20, 21
you didn't
years
have
old.
a beard at the time either.
Yeah, he was like,
There's no way you could afford
where's your dad?
Where's your dad
at?
Yeah.
I'm like, no, this is me, like this and that. So he's showing me the property and this and that. Then, just kind of, I was like, man, this is not going to go well. He's already like judging me. I'm a young kid. Then from there, he goes, yeah, I'll be in contact with you, this and that. And I was like, man, this is not going to be good. Then I haven't heard back from him for like a week or two. And it's already going to be hail season. So I'm trying to get ready for the next hail season on my own. I'm on my own now. So I made the jump. So it's like there's no family member to do
all
anything
in. Yeah,
for me
you're all
anymore.
in.
It's all me. And I was working for Peerless before that, during that little time period. So I quit Peerless, saved all my money to launch Rocky Mountain Dent Co. So anyway, so I call him, and I'm like, hey man, so I'm ready to move in. I got my deposit, I got everything ready. Like, I want to show you that I'm legit. And he goes, man, it was nice to meet you, this and that. You seem like a very bright individual, this and that. But we went with someone that's more credible and has a little bit more established business and that, this and that. And I was like, okay, if you don't want to give me a fair shake, then I got pissed. I'm like, this is my first encounter of, some resistance,
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, if you want to give me a fair shake, that's whatever, but I will be back because I like your property. I'll be a very good tenant, this and that. So I was just like, save my number, remember my name, and I'm coming back, and I'll show you some P&L statements. Like, I'm about this. Like, I'm being dead serious. This is my career. This is what I want to do. I love your property. So I was like, to Wesley, my landlord, and told him that. Then,
Come on, Wesley.
yeah, Wesley, come on, dude.
Dang. Dude.
We're cool now. Wesley's cool now.
He might be my landlord soon, so I'm not going to
Yeah,
make any
he's gonna be
statements
his
about,
landlord.
about Wesley.
Give him a fair shake. So anyway, yeah, from there, started looking for shops, and I was like panicking. I'm anywhere. I'm like, shit, I'm gonna have to do hail repair in my house, in my garage, and that's not what I wanted to do. So I started searching around, started looking at storage units, anything, and stumbled upon Armor Storage out in Pueblo West. So met with Pam and Chuck out in Armor Storage. So shout out Armor Storage. Met with them, kind of just told them my story, even told them like the story that happened in the past shop I was looking at, and they like kind of felt for me, and how hungry I was. So they let me open up a shop there. So
In a storage unit?
in a storage unit. Yeah, I had
That's awesome.
had a little nice lobby out front, but it was at a storage
Yeah.
place. But it worked, and I was pretty successful there for my first year, so it was awesome.
That's awesome.
Yeah, Pam and Chuck are super nice.
You know them?
Before, somewhat, like, they probably don't remember me, but before I started this company, I was looking for an accounting job, and they were just in the beginning process of starting the storage. They had their plans laid out and everything, like they were kind of moving forward. Nothing was built or anything. And so they invited me to go out and get lunch with them, and they were kind of meeting with them and a couple other people that were working on the project and stuff. It was kind of like a job interview thing, you know?
Yeah.
Ultimately, you know, it didn't work out in that sense, but yeah, they were just super nice people.
Yeah, man.
And that storage unit out there they have there is super, super awesome.
Oh, yeah. It's for a storage unit place. It's pretty top notch, you know?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm very grateful for them. And I was actually messaging Chuck like 2 weeks ago. And he's just like messaging me like, man, it's good to see you doing your own thing and you're growing this and that. And I'm like, man, none of this would ever happen if you didn't give me a chance, you know, at such a young age. So I'm like, a lot of this is because of you guys and letting me come and taking a risk on such a young kid, you know, with the
you could have stiffed him for
$950 rent, you know, and I got to trust this 21-year-old to make that payment and this and that. So very grateful for Chuck and Pam. So
absolutely.
Heck yeah.
So you're in the storage unit. You're doing PDR. Are you doing detailing at that time?
No, so strictly just PDR for that year. Doing hail, did pretty good in the hail season. Then doing door dings and stuff like that. But you make most of your money during hail season. Insurance money, stuff like that. Then after it gets really dry. So like after September, you're like, well, shit, what am I gonna do now? So I'm like thinking, what other things am I good at? You know what I mean? So I was like, screw it, I'm gonna start detailing so I can be busy year round. I don't gotta wait for all the rest of the year to wait for hail. And that sucks. So I was like, I'm gonna start detailing. Then I started browsing like mobile detailing and stuff like that, because I was like, I don't want people to come to a storage unit to get their car detailed. It wasn't the best place to drop off your
you
car.
don't want to wash the chemicals down into the
too.
drain right there.
They said there's like a drainage pipe or whatever, so I couldn't wash cars there. So I'm like, shit, I'm kind of in a bind right now. So at the time I was driving like a Ford Fusion, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna start mobile detailing. Screw it. So told my mom about this big old plan on starting this mobile detail side of the business, and she thought it was kind of crazy, but she was always pretty supportive. So drove up to Phil Long, where I used to work as my first job, and bought my van there. So nice. I came back 3 years later and like, I opened my own business, and from going from a detailer to me now, and I was like, I want a van. I'm about to make the best mobile detail van I can. So from there, and it's just been rocking, man. So
It's full circle.
Really full circle,
cool.
man.
In multiple areas of your life, it's like you're doing loops.
Oh man, it's crazy really how everything ties together, man.
Absolutely.
I'm trying to sum everything up, but man, it's been a crazy ride for sure.
So you get the van, and the van is outfitted with onboard water. And what else is in the van now? Because it wasn't when you bought the van.
When I bought that van, it was empty to the bones, man. It was just metal. It was just a metal van. So I'm like,
sketchy van.
Yeah, it was just a rate van, dude. It had no advertising or nothing. It was just this white van wobbling around, and everybody was like, why are you driving that thing? I'm like, just wait. I got some big plans. So driving that thing around, personal and it's work too. So
you picked up your date in that van,
man.
It was just a joke about
this is embarrassing. I can't be parking at Parks in or anything like that, man. You're like, what the fuck? But so I was like sitting there, and I'm thinking, what can I do? Because it's like totally empty. I can make it whatever I want to make it. But I didn't want to be that guy with like the 5 crates and the just pulling shit out of my van. I didn't want to be that mobile detailer. So I found this company that does detailing skid mounts, and bought one of those, and kind of just started putting everything together. And I was watching a bunch of videos and kind of just educating myself on the whole mobile detail business, and seeing how other people's detail setups are, this and that. And I was like, if I'm gonna do it, I might as well just try to make be the best at it, and make it the nicest one in town, and be known for it, and be known for
own it.
Exactly. I didn't want to be that high schooler detailer like some of these young guys. I won't even get into it, but some of these young detailers in town, man, You're gonna learn soon enough, man. You can't be charging them prices like you're doing. So, but yeah, so just kind of ran with it and wanted to do more of a professional experience.
So where the van's at now, do you want to talk about like pulling up to a client's house and not having to tap into their water system?
Yeah,
with onboard and power and all that stuff.
Yeah, so when I first started out, I didn't want to bring my own power. I didn't want to, have to hook up my power washer to their water and this and that, which most customers don't really care. But I'm like, man, I can charge maybe more if I bring my own water. I have my own power. Like, I don't need anything.
Places.
Yeah, I don't need
meet
anything.
You in a parking lot.
Yeah, I can meet you at work. I can meet you at your house, wherever, remote. It doesn't matter. I had my own stuff.
Just not next to a school or a park.
Just not at a park, dude. But yeah. So, so I was just thinking, how can I charge more than everybody else and be a little bit different and have my own, like, little new niche, I guess. So I was like, man, I have my own power, I have my own water. And I guess, I was looking at all the other competition. Everyone's all doing, the traditional hook up their stuff to your stuff and this and that. So I'm like, I'm gonna do my own thing. I'm gonna charge them a little bit more, this and that, and it just worked out great,
Yeah, absolutely. So you're doing mobile detailing for how long before you move in and talk to Wes again at your dream property?
How long was I doing mobile detailing?
Yeah, roughly like.
So I would say a little bit less than a year.
Okay.
So I left Armor Storage because I got in contact with Wes again a year later. I'm dead serious. You can ask Wes about this. This is my favorite story ever.
We're going to have to get Wes on the pod.
Yeah, seriously. So I call Wes again, and I'm like, hey, what's up, Wes? It's Andres Acuna. Do you remember me? He goes, I'm not too sure, this and that. I'm like, it was that young kid that wanted to move into your unit, this and that. He goes, oh, how's it going, man? This and that. I'm like, good. I'm ready to sit down again. And he's like, okay, this and that. I was like, just give me a fair shake this time and just hear me out. I'll show you whatever you need. P&L statements, you can even talk to the previous people at Armor Storage where I set up shop, this and that, like I really want this. You know what I mean? I was like, there's a whole other story, dude. I was driving my bike and stuff to the store, to the unit I'm at now, even before I went to Armor Storage. When I was going to take that jump, I was like trying to manifest this property. I love this property. It looks great. It's right off Highway 50. It's next to my gym. It's a minute away from my house. It was just perfect. So I remember just driving there every other couple days just to look at visualize it. Like, man, I want this place so bad. Yeah. So then, so a year later, we sat down. There was that unit I'm at now open. And, signed docs, got in there, and ended up getting 2 down the road.
So were the people that went in there the first time, did they end up staying there? They leave, or like when he said no to you at first and someone else moved in?
Oh, so it was a totally different unit. So the first unit I wanted, which would be perfect, was the very first unit when you first drive in. Is perfect, man. So they're actually still there today, and just another unit. Some of the other businesses moved out, and
I was gonna say it'd be super ironic if those people were.
I wish it would. I'm like, here we go again, dude. Should have just took a chance on me. They only been here for a year. What the heck, dude? But it all worked out. And we sat down, and now me and Wes are cool now. So
that's awesome. Yeah. I love that story and how you manifest it and like didn't take no for an answer. Rather use that to fuel your fire. And really push you to, prove everybody wrong, whoever told you no.
Exactly. Yeah. Even getting that no was like, it pissed me off. I'm like, oh, yeah, mother, I'll be back next year. Remember me and remember my phone number, everything, because I'm coming back next year. I'm dead serious. And, it motivates you. So all the cars I was doing, I was like, man, I'm out of here. I love my shop now. It's cool. But that's where I wanted to be, was where I'm at now. So you just got to be persistent, man. You got to just keep grinding it out and just strive for better, man. If you want something, go get it. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So,
I wonder if your sports background kind of leads you to that. I feel like because like I always hear people say like, "Yo, you don't, you only compete against yourself and all this other stuff." But like when stuff like that happens to me, I like am so much more productive if I'm competing against someone else or some real competition. I find it hard to compete against myself, to be honest with you.
Yeah, really?
And I think it's like I do feel like it's like a sports mentality or something.
Oh, for
like
sure.
That.
Yeah, just that competitiveness and stuff like that. Yeah, I definitely. It's exactly where it took me for sure.
So you're in your dream location. Things are starting. This dream is starting to become a very real reality. So what are things looking like now? You're still offering mobile detailing at this time when the shop doors open. So business wise, what took place from that point?
Once I opened up there.
Yeah.
So I was still doing the mobile detailing and stuff, still staying busy until hail season. Then started getting into the whole ceramic coating world and polishing and doing boats and stuff like that. Then that whole side of the business started taking off. And I kind of took it as, if I'm doing this mobile detailing and doing detail customers, it's a good chance to educate them about PDR. So, hail season's coming in a month or two. So I'd give them a flyer like, hey, if your car gets hit with hail damage, remember me, we do PDR, this and that, ARC, master technician, blah, blah, blah. Just educating them because I can turn my detail customers into big time hail customers. So that $200, $150 detail could turn into $7,000 in the summer. Yeah. So I'm like hitting it hard. Like, even though it sucked to detail cars in the summer, I'm like, man, who knows, this car can get hit with a bunch of hail and, can file an insurance claim on it, this and that. They can be, a customer on both sides of the business. So I kind of just took that opportunity to, take those customers and vice versa. The people that were hail customers, turn them into detail customers and talk about ceramic coatings and this and that. So all around, I'm working on their car, making money all the way around. So
no, that's huge. I know, because I think right around that time is when I got to know you, from the gym and being around the same people at the gym. And I started following you and, I saw, kind of the magnitude of what you were doing. And that I think that was right around the time you really started getting into like ceramic coatings and stuff like that. And do you want to touch on, when you went away to learn about XKote?
XKote. Yeah. So, doing polishing and all that good stuff. I like polishing, correcting paint, scratches and swirls. It's very it's just very timely. It takes forever. You get a great product and all, but, it just took too long. I liked it. I liked it a lot, but I didn't love it. And I'm always thinking of how can I cut down my time or any little thing. So I just saw an ad on a detailing group page of XKote and, contacted the owner. Then from there, flew out to Billings, Montana, learned how to do XKote. Then from there, came back home and I was like, man, I get to save a bunch of time. I can totally get a car. I can paint correct, and it takes a week or so to paint correct and ceramic coat it. Now it only takes me 2-3 days because that XKote totally wipes out scratches, swirls, and oxidation. Once you prep the car, so it's taken a day and a half to do all the correcting and all that stuff. So it totally turned my business upside down in a good way. I totally got rid of all the traditional stuff. I still do it. But, I'm really pushing XKote, and I think that's the big reason why I'm going to Florida is to really explode XKote. It's still new.
What is XKote?
So XKote, I know they're like,
Brad's like, what the hell is an XKote?
So XKote is a hand-applied 2K clear coat that fills in scratches and swirls. So it's essentially the same clear coat you have on your car. It's just been reformulated and whatever he did to fill in those scratches and swirls, and it renews your original paint. So it's like essentially getting a new paint job without actually getting a paint job.
This episode is sponsored by XKote.
Shout out to Mark Johnson.
We will touch on that too. But okay, so you start XKoting, right? And I think this is the time where I started shooting for you. We did a big SUV, like a massive SUV for another local business owner. in town, and I know I did some photos for you, and I was like, wow, this is the craziest I've ever seen a black car look.
Yeah.
Like, it looks wet, you know, and usually black cars only are clean the moment they leave the car wash or they get done being detailed, and this thing looked like a mirror. It was impossible for me to shoot. And since then, you've given me nothing but black cars to shoot, and I've gotten all right at it. But yeah, I mean, I feel like XKote has really helped your business flourish and brought it to new levels that I don't think traditional, you know, paint correction and detailing could have ever done.
Oh yeah, exactly. And it's just, you know, cutting down that time, you know, I just like, I needed to find a way to cut down the time on correcting these cars, man. It was just taking forever, man. It was just like, shit, it's good pay, but it's like, I don't want to be sitting on a panel for 45 minutes to get it to where I want. Now I'm doing a whole car in a day, you know?
Exactly.
So it was, it's been awesome.
That's awesome. So you touched on moving to Florida. So can you drop that bomb on everyone? Because I feel like only people close to you know. So
Moving to Florida to just start the same thing. What I've been doing now, it's just I want to just scale it and see what I'm about and just be in a bigger market and just try new things. You know, I've been born and raised here my whole life, and it's been great. You know, I'm very grateful for all my friends and family sharing all my stuff and all my customers. It's just some people might disagree with me, but businesses in Pueblo, certain businesses, not all businesses, but in Pueblo, man, you just, once you reach a limit or a point in your business, it kind of just flatlines. You know, it doesn't really explode. You know, for being honest here, Pueblo is a low income town. You know, it is. It's a hardworking blue collar income town, and not everybody has the money to really afford what I do, you know. So I just, you know, visited my sister down in Florida. That's kind of how I got, you know, things going. I'm like, man, I'm looking at all these luxury cars, Maseratis, Ferraris, this and that, and I'm looking at what these guys are charging. I'm like, oh my God, man, this is just, I could kill it out here. I'm killing it at home, but it's just like, you know, it's just gonna, at a certain point, it's just gonna just flatline, you know. And that's not all businesses. Like, you know, Mexican restaurants here, they're booming.
They kill it.
No, I'm just kidding. Or photography, you know, you guys can really, but as far as like cosmetic, you know, car stuff, you know, just Pueblo's really not the best market.
It's a very niche market to be in to begin with.
I feel like there's not enough supercars here too. Like,
I think you've done almost everyone who owns a supercar.
Pretty much,
I've shot, you know, GTRs that you pulled out of there. I've shot Maseratis you pulled out of there, Porsches you pulled out of there. At this point, I think we're just waiting on one guy who owns a Lambo, and I'm sure it's not far off. So,
I know a guy.
Yeah, right, exactly. So I'm waiting to shoot that as well.
Heck
but
yeah, man.
I feel like this will be kind of a gut test, you know, like a gut check for you too, to pick everything up and start over where you don't know anybody. Yeah. And start over from scratch. And that's going to give you, you know, everything you just went over up until this point.
Exactly.
You're going to have to redo again, minus being that super young kid, which out there, you might be the young kid, you know.
Oh, yeah.
Again. You're still pretty damn young.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I'm competing with guys that are 30, 40 years old, have been in the game for a long time. So to stop a good thing, you know, that I have going, to just jump into a whole nother market and try to be something bigger and better, it's scary. It's not, I'm not going to lie. It's scary. Yeah. I'm a little nervous about it, but I'm ready, man. I'm built for this. You know, I'm built for grinding it out, figuring ways to bring in business and, you know, just produce a great product, you know. So I'm really taking, like I said, the XKote thing. You know, no one out there is doing it. So I'm not only going to install it, I'll be the only installer in Florida, but I'll also be the only training facility. So
that's huge.
So it'll be, just XKote itself is just going to do well, hopefully.
Absolutely. And I can't wait to see that flourish. I know we've done some videos really highlighting XKote. You could see that on the Rocky Mountain Dent and Detail page, but the other page with your new endeavor, which is SoFloAutoPros, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. So a lot of the stuff is we've been planning this for a few months, well, at least 6 months. So we've been rebranding a lot of the videos and stuff to have the new logo. So you might be able to see those same videos on that new Instagram page as well.
Yeah, for sure.
But I'm sure, like that fire that's burning inside of you now is what was burning inside of you when you were riding your bike to the shop.
Oh, yeah. That's another thing that I wanted to hit on, man. When I first started out, I was just so focused on being the guy in town. I know a lot of other, PDR places and a lot of detail places and this and that. And I'm like, man, I can't wait to be that guy one day. When a hailstorm comes, you got to go to this guy.
Mm-hmm.
When you need your car cleaned, you got to go to this guy. So I'm like, I couldn't wait to be that guy. And I feel like I'm definitely one of them, or top 3 in town.
Yeah, absolutely.
And there's a couple places that are closing down. So it's like this next following year, kind of weird how everything aligned. I could be the guy. You know what I mean? Because some of the big dogs, I won't mention any businesses, but they're closing down. So they're selling their business, this and that. So I could be potentially the next big guy in the auto detailing and paintless dent repair.
You
company.
Six-figured your company this year for the first time.
This year, yeah.
Congratulations on that.
Thank you,
Because that's a huge accomplishment.
Man.
For sure. Coming from, I would say the basement, but coming from the storage unit.
From the storage unit. Shit, coming from Peerless Tire, man. Busting my ass for $10 an hour. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So,
that's super huge. And, I think your drive can really make whatever you do in Florida a lot easier. And your work speaks for itself. As soon as you get that first client, it's on.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So are you going to keep the place out here? Or are you going to sell this here? Or just close it down?
So I was trying to sell it. I've had like 4 or 5 buyers come in and that are interested. It's just some deals fall through. People can only get financed to buy the business, like half of it, and the rest they have to, come out of pocket. Just a bunch of different things that I've learned because it's my first time selling my business. So I have a couple other people that I'm still waiting on, but most likely it looks like I'm probably going to have to shut it down. So, it is what it is.
So do you have employees now, or is it just
No,
you,
it's just me right now.
Yeah, damn.
But one time I had 3 employees. Yeah, so during the little after like the heat of the pandemic, had 3 employees. They helped me out to a point, and then they all just kind of just fell through. It is what it is. They wanted to get that stimmy and just stay at home and chill, I guess.
Why'd they end up leaving? They just...
You know what? Well,
do you know?
They were both... Oh, man, if we want to get into it. Okay. So my best worker, she was in high school. So she was, when she was off from high school and during summer vacation, whatever, she was working for me a long time, and she did a phenomenal job. Then she kind of just was thinking about other things. She wanted to be, I think, something with the reservoir or wildlife or whatever the fuck. So she wanted to do that. So she decided to go that route. Then plus she was going back to school. So I needed her at the shop, and it just didn't work out. So we parted ways, and she was a good worker. The other guy was actually a friend of mine. I would consider him a friend. Not anymore. Fucking asshole. But, kiss my ass. So he worked for me. He was doing good, killing it. He was actually a detailer before. Then just he had a lot of personal issues and a lot of demons, I guess, and just didn't come to work, showing up late, this and that. And that didn't work out. Let him go. Then another kid from the gym. So he was a Nimrod. So he didn't work out either. So I'm just like, fuck, man. I'm just not catching a break here. And I was going to use all them to really run the business because they were at the time when they first started, they were killing it. I'm like, oh shit, we got something going. I'm growing, I can focus more on sales and talking to customers and actually running the business rather than slaving away, So I was going to use them during the whole time I was going to bodybuild. So
that's a whole other
thing. So I was going to use my workers, to run the show, and we all had this planned out and sat them down and told them, I had this big plan to do a bodybuilding show. And I'm hoping you guys can run the show still while I'm gone. And, I'll come in, check in, and definitely do as much as I can. But I really need you guys to pull through. I'll bump up your wage, this and that, take care of you guys. And it all just came down to when I was going to bodybuild, and they all didn't work out. So I closed down for like
I was going to say that's
2 months, and that was really hard.
That's a pretty interesting point. You and the guy that you were doing the show with, your battle buddy, Christian, and
Giner.
Anyway, so I thought it was interesting that you guys were able to leave literally everything you had going on in your life. He, kind of put pause on his side of work or really slowed down, and you completely shut the doors and said, nope, I'm focusing on this bodybuilding show, and that's all I'm going to worry about.
Yeah.
So,
well, I had a really good year this year, so I made enough money to sustain myself for a month or two as far as like rent and all my expenses. So I was really chilling. I was good, but I definitely didn't want to close my doors,
No,
like
of course.
people wanted business. So I had to close my doors down, and you see it in the bodybuilding world, man. Once you're cutting hard and
you can't do anything.
You're
going to the gym
you're
is
fucked. Yeah, like you're just done, man.
Just be an accountant. You get November and December off most of the year.
Yeah, so I try to stay open as long as possible, but once I was like cutting really hard and on the damn treadmill for 3 hours, and I was just my level of focus for business and talking to people, and I just wasn't there. It just, no matter what you did, you were just done, if you're doing it the right way, because you can do a bodybuilding show and kind of go through the motions, just say you stepped on there, but whatever I do, I want to try to do it
be the best.
Yeah, I want to be the best. I want to win. So so I was all in. I even told my trainer Jordan, I was like, man, I'm really shooting for this. Like, I'll do whatever I got to do. I'm shutting down my business, and I'm all in, because I've always wanted to do it, and I'm not going to go up there just to say I was up there.
I did it.
You know what I mean? Even though I didn't place, but
no,
I can't say
you put in a ton of work before that.
Oh yeah, when I stepped on stage, there was really no card unturned. You know what I mean? I did what I could.
Best.
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely.
That's like that athlete coming back. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. Whatever
It
you
really
do in
just
life,
stays
man.
with you.
Yeah.
Did you play sports growing up your whole life?
Oh yeah, just mostly football and baseball.
Yeah.
I come from a very competitive family. It's like when we got together, we talk about sports and this and that, and it's just whatever we did. If we were bowling, we're competing, talking crap.
Out. Yeah.
Whether we were playing badminton, you know what I mean? We wanted to be the best at everything we wanted, whatever we did. So that's kind of my mentality as I grew up. I was raised like that.
Absolutely.
So if I'm going to do something, I might as well be the best at it, or
I just
try my ass off.
Yeah, I just kind of it just hit me. It's like athletes, you can almost tell now. There's like
who's an athlete? Yeah,
certain traits. I guess that kind of stick out.
Actually, brought him out of retirement this summer for the softball league, and he hit a bomb the first
dingers, baby.
I've never seen anybody hit a ball. I'm pretty sure he killed a kid out there in Pueblo West. If you're listening to the kid who was playing soccer,
shout out to the soccer kid. I'm sorry.
He hit deep center field and just smoked him on the soccer field. I've never seen a ball hit that far in my life.
Oh, poor kid.
So yeah, that was super cool. So come back, fly in every Wednesday, fly in and come play
head
on the
to the
team.
Field, hit some bombs.
That's it. Yeah, and just leave.
Yeah, that was fun, man.
Yeah, the employed thing, I was curious because it's a hot topic for sure, employees, but also it's intriguing to me to hear other like smaller businesses, like how they're managing like the employee situation. The employee I had, I was paying her good hourly, but it wasn't like full-time position. There wasn't benefits.
Yeah.
So she got a great job offer, full-time benefits, 401k with the city. So it's kind of like, well, how am I going to compete with that? You know what I mean?
Exactly.
You can't.
Yeah,
A little different story than yours from the sounds of it. But
I think I'm still young. I probably could have managed them better, but from what I tried doing, I really don't think I could have did a better job. But I mean, I guess being young, you going through your growing pains and stuff like that. I probably should have hired older people too. They were all between
comes back to
17 and my age.
Yeah.
One of the guys were my age, so. They, as a young high schooler, graduating from high school, it's like, you really don't give a shit about anything. Really.
Especially if
you know what I mean?
If your hopes, dreams, and aspirations are something totally different.
Yeah. Yeah. And no one's going to care more about your company and the product
yourself.
and the quality more than you do. No matter how good you train somebody, it's just things fall through with employees,
Yeah,
But,
absolutely.
Hire slow and fire fast.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is crazy once you get employees. Like you think your employees work for you, but honestly, like you work for your employees more than anything. Like I feel like to truly like grow, to like get 7-figure business and stuff like that, you're gonna need team members, and essentially you make that transition from self-employed to business owner. And a lot of that transition is more managerial and more sales in my mind. At least that's kind of where I hope my company goes to, is where I eventually step away from a lot of the accounting work, and I do, mostly just like tax oversight, sales, and management.
Yeah,
like,
for sure. And I kind of figure, once you're trying to grow at a rapid rate and open multiple locations and, buy another van, stuff like that, I have like a control issue with my business, as every business owner should.
Very common.
You're like, man, I got to see that car before it leaves because he did it, this and that. And I think as you grow, you got to kind of put your ego aside, and you're like, if quality goes down, that's what comes with growing in a way, even though that's kind of shitty to say, but it's going to fall through a little bit.
I mean, it's just, that's the trend. It's like learning a whole nother side of everything, figuring out the best system you can put in place to make sure quality doesn't slide. But it's a lot easier said than done.
For sure. And I think that's I couldn't pull the trigger on that. I'm like, no, the company's too early. I can't be letting things slide like that.
When you're making, when the company's doing well and you are hitting like 6 figures too. I feel like sometimes you're like, well, I'll just keep busting my ass for a little bit and let's see what happens.
You've been doing it this long,
Yeah.
So moving forward, the plans to leave to Florida are a couple months out right now. So what are some of your goals, short, medium, and long-term goals heading into this rebranding and life change, essentially? The next chapter. What does it look like? What are some of your goals?
So one of my goals is to, one, get established, and find a shop right away. I'm moving in March, early March. I'm not waiting any longer than that.
So we're like 30 days out here,
Yeah, so it's coming up pretty quick. Life is just crazy right now. But short goals is to definitely go after a shop, get established, get everything moved, just getting things moved there and getting acclimated to the new city. You know what I mean? I'm totally not in my element anymore. So getting a shop, then I'm also going to be doing some travel training for XKote.
Nice.
So going to see where that takes me. Then eventually, open my shop and have a full training center there. So once I get everything set up, I don't got to travel and train people anymore. People are going to be coming to me.
That's awesome.
So be doing that. So that's a big goal of mine. And long term, I want to be doing all the services that I do now, but I want to start selling cars. So
in conjunction?
Yeah. So
okay.
I tried picking a name to where it fits, full circle and all the services and maybe some auto sales. So, so I want to start flipping some cars, buying a car for, this amount and, giving it a good detail, X-coating it, buying a car that's paint looks like crap and X-coating it and now looks brand new.
Looks showroom ready.
Yeah. So I think long term, I want to start having, between 5-8 cars on the lot and start maybe, who knows, maybe growing into a dealership or I don't know.
Cool. Yeah. Who knows?
Like an exotic car dealership down there in Florida.
Yeah.
Me and David will be flying in. We'll do an episode down there. You'll throw me the keys to the Porsche.
Yeah,
we'll be all right.
We'll see. Might start out with some beaters, man. I don't know.
All right. I'll take a beater Beamer.
Straight up. So yeah, that's
awesome.
That's probably the long-term goal with some other
things
I have aligned with my sister. We have another business plan.
Nice. It's huge.
Can't really talk about yet,
No, you're
but
good. You're good.
Yeah, that's
I'm only
probably
one flight away.
That's like long term.
Yeah.
Like we don't even know where to start with this damn thing. It's a kind of weird idea, but we're gonna roll with it.
No, that's awesome. I love that you have plans and not really backup plans, but other alternative means to pay those bills and who knows what that could flourish into. At this point, the sky is beyond, not even the limit anymore.
I'm trying to just grind it out and see what I can do, man. I just have a fire in me that just won't stop, man. Whatever it is. So I think it's a good time for the move, and I'll have my sister there, so it's not like I'm alone.
Exactly. Yeah.
So and I visited St. Petersburg, and it's a great market. good people, great, weather was a big reason why I wanted to move
Of
too.
course, absolutely.
I got to be canceling appointments because it's -2 degrees outside, and the next day it's 75,
True.
and it's just, I was just totally over the Colorado weather
Yeah,
too.
as long as there's no hurricanes, you're chilling.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So we have a reoccurring question that we ask on the podcast, and it's kind of what you want your lasting legacy to be.
Okay. Like what I want to be like known for.
Yeah. What do you want that surpasses you, in this life?
Yeah. So we really didn't touch about like the whole school situation. I wasn't the brightest person in school. I almost got held back in second grade, and just didn't really succeed in school. Dropped out of college 3 different times before I even started getting into the PDR detailing and the whole business world, and had a lot of bad experiences and getting made fun of and stuff like that. So to see where I'm at now, and I went a totally different way from everybody else. Everybody was going to college, this and that, or they got 4.0s, gold cord, all this, and I was just like that dumb jock. You know what I mean? So kind of tie things back all together. I guess my lasting legacy would want to just show that kid that's struggling in school, or he's lost, or doesn't know what he wants to do, that you can make something of yourself. You know what I mean? You don't need to get a degree. You don't need to do this or do that. If you're willing to put yourself out there and be great at something, you can truly make it. So I think I really want to motivate, young entrepreneurs that they see everybody going right. Hey man, it's okay to go left. If you don't want to go to college or, get a 9 to 5 and you're like, screw it, I have this idea and I want to explode on it and be something and, be my own business owner and do that sort of type of thing. So I just really my lasting legacy would want to just motivate young people like that, I guess.
Yeah.
I want to go more after that crowd than, your people in college and stuff like that, and doing it what everyone thinks you should go.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So yeah,
I love that.
That's awesome.
No, most definitely.
Yeah, I mean,
it's huge.
even though we didn't really talk about school and stuff. But
No, but yeah,
that's
inside of you, you knew that was something that bugged you, and something that you grew from. So I feel like that's huge.
For sure.
Most business owners I know were terrible in school anyway.
Yeah, most business owners dropped out of college.
Yeah.
And just figured it out.
I got like straight A's in accounting, and everything else was just C's.
Yeah.
So I just don't care. I like accounting.
Yeah.
I just don't, I don't really care
All
about
the other stuff doesn't matter.
all the other classes.
Yeah.
I thought they were so pointless.
Yeah.
So I mean, I could see like if you're into photography or cars, like why would you want to go take a biology class? Like,
Makes sense. Yeah.
Well, even like business school, I went to the Hassan School of Business at CSUP before I got into PDR and detailing. Whole other story, but I went for I decided I wanted to be a business owner, this and that, and I thought you had to go to business school to learn that type of shit. And I went there. I'm like, dude, more than half of this shit I'm not going to even use in real life. Like, what am I doing?
Yeah.
Like,
All
this
you
is
need is
completely
$60
stupid.
in the Secretary of State
They
website.
teach you how to manage businesses, other people's businesses. They don't teach you, how to write checks or how to go after a shop or sales pitch and this and that. They don't go after that. There's essentially college is a business itself. You know what I mean? So it's like
college prepares you for jobs. I mean, even the accounting, the jobs they're preparing you for in an accounting degree is to work for a big company in their accounting department.
For sure.
They don't train you to do this,
Open your own thing up.
I definitely learned a lot in the accounting side, but from a business owner side, there's not much to learn in the classroom, I don't think, honestly.
And I always thought you had to go to college to open up a business and all this crap. And once I saw through all of it, I'm like, no. Everything I know now is because of just normal living experiences and putting myself out there. And,
You know what I think is pretty cool and interesting, too, is like the comparison between this episode and the episode we have with Andrew, because Andrew owns a business, super successful.
Yeah, I saw that,
But he did go to school. He's got an MBA, I think, or a bachelor's, so it's like there's different ways to do everything, what I mean?
There really
so
is.
it's like, Yeah, it kind of goes back to what you're saying with your legacy. Like, everyone's going right, like go left. You know,
you never know.
Literally, you guys might end up at the same spot, you know, but just go to however you feel comfortable and what you want.
And it's a lonely road, man. When everyone's doing, you know, going off to college and
partying
and having fun and doing sports and stuff like that, and you're over here alone, like shit. I got to work a 9 to 5 to save some money, then start my business. It's lonely, man. I've been through relationships,
it's lonely at the bottom,
some friendships, man. I've had to sacrifice a lot,
lonely at the top,
to where I've gotten here. And there's nothing wrong with going to school. I just have a very bad negative outlook on it, I guess.
I agree.
From high school, grade school, and into college, you know, because I was that dummy in class, you know, that people talk shit about.
Yeah.
But so yeah, that's what I want my lasting legacy to. You know, there's not only one way to learn things. You know, school only teaches you to learn one thing, and you get judged based off of that. You know, you go to school, you get good grades. Oh, you're probably gonna be successful in life. Fuck no. You know what I mean? People that I went to school with, that got 4.0s and gold cords and stuff like that. They're not even hanging with me right now. And
retail managers or something.
Yeah, that might sound cocky or arrogant. I really don't give a shit, because I put myself out there to be where I'm at now, and at that point in time, I felt like I was a nobody. So to really go against the grain and say, you know what, fuck all you guys, I'm gonna go this way. I'm gonna try it this way on my own, do my own thing, and to be where I'm at now, man, I'm really proud of it. So
absolutely, it's definitely something to be proud of. You know, 6 figures, you know, last year, and the sky's the limit for this year. You know,
and you're moving to Florida. There's a lot of Venezuelan women, a lot of Colombianos. So you know, maybe you won't be so lonely down there.
I know, right? I hope not,
man. Yeah, thanks again for coming on. I know it's been a long time coming. There was a little bit of technical difficulties in the beginning, but we worked through it as well. But I want to thank you again for coming on, and you know, good luck with your next endeavors. I'm sure this won't be the last time we're hearing from you. So
not at all.
We're gonna have to remote out from Florida on a business trip. Shout out the IRS. But this has been the Lasting Legacy Podcast. Check us out anywhere you get your podcasts. Good night.